Isaiah 58 and verse 11 says, "And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water, whose waters fail not." Amen. Praise the Lord. What a wonderful promise. Hello, I'm Rico Hill, the host of From Sickness to Health.
And I'm Sickness.
Hey, did you know that 70% of the human body is water? Therefore, like your blood and your bones are water. In fact, the brain is like 85% water.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did you also know that if you just drink at least 8 glasses of water every day, you will cleanse the body of toxins, and then you can reduce your chances of being sick? Whew.
Oh, I knew that. And that's why I don't drink this stuff. I don't want to reduce the chance of me being me.
That wasn't that funny.
I'll tell you what's not funny. People know water's good for them, and they don't drink it. They'd rather have soda and tea and sugary drink and this or that. And you know what? At the end of the day, they just want a little sugar in their water with a little dye, like some Kool-Aid.
Wait a minute. Kool-Aid? What is Kool-Aid?
Well, Kool-Aid is when people think something is good for them, but it's got so much sugar and dyes that it's really not. Kool-Aid!
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I can wrap my brain around this.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself.
So you're saying that a colored substance that doesn't really have any substance is what you're calling Kool-Aid?
Exactly!
So does this make you a fool-aid?
Yes!
Okay, I thought I understood that. So today we're going to talk about not being fools, but actually understanding truth about the real thing, and that's water.
Wait a second, I'm no fool. I can say water in multiple languages. In Spanish, agua. In German, Wasser. In Chinese, shui. And in Jamaican, wataman.
Clearly it's the Kool-Aid. Roll it. Well, welcome and thank you for joining us here on From Sickness to Health right here in the studios. And I am joined today by Dr. Milton Mills, and we're going to talk about a subject that it seems so simple, but a lot of people are either neglected or avoided or whatever the case may be. But you're going to find that it's so simple, but yet it's so profound in terms of its impact on our health. So I am excited about our guest, Dr. Milton Mills, a friend to this program. He is a critical care physician at the United Medical Center in Washington, D.C., but he's also the Associate Director for Preventative Medicine for the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. That means he's educating people on how to be healthy and live. So thank you for being on the program with us.
Very happy to be
Hey,
here.
we're talking about water today, aren't we?
Yes,
Here's
we
the
are.
water.
Here's the water.
So, before we dive into the subject about water, I'd like to refer to this program as Never Thirst Again. What do you call this water?
It's the Elixir of Life.
The Elixir of Life. I like that. Let's see what people know about this Elixir of Life as we go to Sickness and get his take on it.
Sure.
Thank you, Rico. I've got an amazing concoction going on here today. It's my own personal elixir. You've probably heard of tonic water and spring water. Well, guess what? I've got something better than all of them. It's called, ta-da, blue water. That's right, Rico. You heard it here first, blue water. It's going to be amazing. It's the next big thing. And I'll tell you why. It's in the marketing. You see, you just add a little blue dye or color to water. Even though it's bad for you, people love it. Case in point. Hey, buddy, you want a little blue guy special? Well, here you go.
Sure. Blue water. All right.
Oh, yeah. Go on, taste it. Oh, it's a hit. This is great. You know, the reason is it's because of some super scientific ingredients that we use, like tartrazine 102, monosodium glutamate 621, hydrochloride, zutaluteline, and phenylamine, and some blue dye. Fantastic ingredients. All the good stuff. You know, I think this is going to replace water. People won't even remember water. It's going to be great. Hey, buddy, want some more water? Blue water? There you go. Enjoy. We're going to be rich. Back to you, Rico.
Blue water, huh? And I don't even know what he's pronouncing in half of, I don't know half of the things he was pronouncing in this blue water. So, but this makes a point, doesn't it? A lot of people are drinking lots of things out there, soda pop and all types of energy drinks that have all these words that are long.
I would say energy.
Quote unquote energy,
Yeah.
okay. So, but people are choosing that over just simple water. What's going on here?
Well, basically, people have been sold the proverbial bill of goods. They've been led to believe that all of this stuff that is being marketed to them is good for them or necessary or helpful, and in fact, it isn't. There is nothing more helpful, more important than good, clear, clean water. Your body, as you know, is 70% water, and you need to replenish that every single day to keep yourself fully hydrated, to keep your body flushed out internally so that your kidneys are able to rid your body of the toxins that are produced every single second.
Every single day?
Well, actually, every single second that we're living, because...
Whoa, hold up, you just tripped me up there. I was ready to say, concede to every day, but you're saying every single second?
Yes, every single second that a cell is living, it is metabolizing. And as it's metabolizing, it is producing waste
products.
Exactly. And those waste products have to be gotten rid of. And they are carried away by the bloodstream, which then goes to the kidneys, which filter out the toxins, and those ultimately come out in our urine. Or conversely, they are filtered through the liver, and they are taken out and excreted through the GI tract. So toxins are continually being produced and removed from our system.
But you know what people are saying? Well, that's fine. I'll get my water from soda pop.
Well, actually, the problem is...
There's water in there.
Yeah, there's water, but there's also a lot of dissolved solutes in there. And when you take in water that also has other materials in it, in the process of metabolizing the stuff that's in the soda pop, you end up using the water that's in the soda pop to get rid of the stuff that's in the soda pop.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure that I just understood that. So you're saying, if you drink water, let's look at that first. So you drink water, it's just simple. It's flushing out, it's removing. It is a benefit to the process, the natural processes, right?
Sure.
Drink a soda that has water in it, but because of so many other additives, the body is using the water that's in there to actually get rid of the junk that's in there.
Absolutely. Let me ask you...
So you didn't have any water at all?
Right. Let me ask you this. Can you take a bath in muddy water?
I would never do it.
Why?
Because I wouldn't be clean.
Exactly. Likewise, you can't use soda pop to get rid of compounds that are in your system. You need, just like you need clear water to get rid of dirt on your skin, you need clear water internally to get rid of the toxins and waste products in your body.
Okay, now, Doc, here's a point, because people don't realize that. So there is a need for water externally, which no one is going to argue that.
Absolutely.
So in the same way, we are actually sort of washing our vital organs. Kidney, liver.
That's exactly right.
Let's look at some facts about water, okay? Since we're talking about it, let's give people a clear perspective and look at what is water really doing in the body. You mentioned already, first of all, you said that the body is 70, some people say 70, 75% water, right? So it's mostly water. But then you've got the brain, some 75, 80, sometimes even 85% water, right? You've got water in the bones, you've got water in the blood, you've got water in every single aspect of our body needs water. What does it do? It's a great laxative. It's a natural laxative.
Yes.
We need water to actually use to make stool, right?
Yes, we do.
So we need water there. It actually helps to lower the blood sugar in the body.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We need it as water is almost like lubrication for the joints.
That's exactly right.
If you have arthritis and you're not drinking water,
your joints become stiffer. They don't work as well.
we have so much more to say about this. Let's go and let's hear if there's some information that we can gather from what the news is saying. You know, on this program, you've been on before, we like to get a perspective from everybody. We want your perspective, we want even your perspective, and certainly we'll listen to what the news say. Sometimes you all listen to what the news will say before even what the doctor who cares about you says. So let's take a look at what the news is saying.
So Coke and Pepsi announced that they're going to change the formulation of the caramel coloring that they use in their sodas to avoid putting a cancer warning label. And here's why. A consumer group called Center for Science in the Public Interest claims that they did testing of this caramel coloring, and they found a chemical in there that has been linked to cancer in animals is above what's allowable in our food supply. And they demanded that the Food and Drug Administration take action.
You know, there are a lot of people who drink Coke and Pepsi, and they're going to be very concerned about their health right now.
Yeah. You know, there are a number of opinions on that. Coke says that there has never been a problem in terms of cancer from this caramel coloring, but they want to make the change to avoid that warning label. The Food and Drug Administration, they told Reuters that you would need to drink more than 1,000 cans of soda every single day to hit that threshold of risk in animals.
Even before this came out, you've never been a fan, as most doctors are not a fan of drinking these kind of beverages.
Yeah, you know, I don't see that there's a real cancer risk here, but you're right. You know, I say this every day, that if you want to do one thing for your health, just one thing that you could do today that would have the biggest impact, it would be cut out your sodas, cut out your sweetened beverages, because, I mean, cancer's not the risk. You're more likely to die from the diabetes that's linked to obesity, that's linked to all these sweetened beverages, than you ever are to have to worry about the caramel.
And you can see a dramatic change if you cut out sodas.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You will lose pounds. You will lose pounds just from that one simple thing.
Wow. The research is so clear, sugary drinks are simply bad for us.
That's absolutely true. The research clearly shows that it is the massive increase in the consumption of sugary drinks that has contributed to this epidemic of obesity that we're seeing in the country. Not only does it contribute to obesity, but it also contributes to dehydration because it takes a lot of water to metabolize all of the sugar that people are actually consuming.
And even worse yet, high fructose corn syrup.
High fructose corn syrup is actually...
You can't get around it. It's in all those drinks.
It is in all of the drinks. And there's a very interesting reason why that's so. It turns out that there are different types of sugar molecules. And fructose is what's called a monosaccharide, meaning a single sugar molecule that our taste buds perceive as being many times sweeter than what we call table sugar or sucrose, which is a disaccharide, meaning it's two sugar molecules linked together. So in other words, you have a single sugar molecule that is perceived as being many times sweeter than a double sugar molecule. Well, why is that important? It's important because that means that God designed fruit, which is where the term fructose comes from, fruit sugar, to have a small amount of sugar in it, but still be perceived as very sweet, so that we would eat the fruit, get all of the health benefits without getting a huge sugar load. But industry said, well, instead of putting sucrose into our soft drinks, we could put half the amount of sugar for an equivalent level of sweetness, and not only would we be using less sugar, but then when we want to ship it all over the country, we would have to pay lower transportation costs
Economics.
because it would weigh less. The problem is that when we consume large amounts of fructose, non-physiologic amounts of fructose, it deranges our physiology. It raises your blood pressure, it causes your body to store excess amounts of fat, and it contributes to a number of other disease processes in the body, because our bodies weren't meant to handle huge amounts of fructose like we get when we drink all of these sugary drinks.
Let me try to put that into some language, because I mean you hit some serious topics there. But let's make it real practical. And you tell me whether this is true. But I've looked at some research that shows that if, say for instance, we take your average 12-ounce soft drink, okay, soda pop, you drink that, and you're getting high fructose corn syrup. Now, that would be the equivalent, because the sugar there has been refined or processed, right? But if you were to look at the amount of sugar that the body's taken in, you'd have to, in its natural state, be like the equivalent of a 30-foot cane, you know, like the sugar cane? Like no one would eat a 30-foot sugar cane. But you find that all sort of processed or compressed in this one can of soda.
Sure.
This is unnatural for, you said, it's unnatural for the body's physiology.
Right. Furthermore, it's even more unnatural than that, because one, if you were to eat that 30-foot piece of sugar cane, you're actually going to get sucrose, which is actually natural sugar. In that can of soda, you're getting all this quote-unquote high fructose corn syrup. I ask my patients, when was the last time you squeezed a cob of corn and got syrup? Never. And that's because there is no syrup in corn. Corn syrup, number one, is an artificial product. It's made by taking corn starch, chemically breaking apart the starch molecules into sugar, adding water. Then they take that sugar water and send it through another chemical process which rearranges the glucose molecules into fructose molecules. And so what you have is a chemically produced, completely unnatural product, which is then turned around and put into these soft drinks, fed to our children, and it makes them obese, diabetic, and have all sorts of health problems. And I might add, the same thing happens to the adults. So this is completely unnatural and very unhealthy.
Now, it makes me think about, you know, sometimes when you're in the grocery store and you see these 2-liter, these huge things.
Disgusting.
And then you look and you wonder, well, where's the water? Where's the you know, the natural foods? And it's all so processed. But we're talking about water. But there's a price that has to be paid when someone is constantly. I've heard people say, I don't even like water. I don't like to drink water. Just give me my soda or my juice. There is a price to pay on the kidneys. Where will that lead to? Because we're seeing dialysis.
Absolutely.
That's just off the chart. It's expensive, it's inconvenient, it's cumbersome. Talk about that for a second. This is people who are not drinking water, right?
It's going to lead to all kinds of disease. It's going to, you know, I often ask, again, groups that I speak to, I ask them, if I were to ask you, what is the leading cause of disability in African American men between the ages of 25 and 55? Is it gunshots? Is it auto accidents? Is it HIV disease, or none of the above? Many people pick one of those three problems. It's actually stroke from untreated high blood pressure. And that can be directly traced to things like drinking all of these sugary drinks, not getting enough water, and other dietary indiscretions. So these things do come with a price. And that price is the diseases that result from inappropriate dietary habits like not drinking enough water, drinking too many sugary drinks, and so on and so forth. So yes, there's a terrible price to be paid, and we have to make changes if we want to preserve our health.
You know what? Those are excellent points. Let's take a look. We want to see what the people are saying out there on the streets. Do they understand the value of water, the necessity of drinking water and drinking it in the right amounts that you need? And when we come back on the other side, let's talk about how much water should we be drinking?
Sure.
All right?
All right, you don't drink milk. That's fine. You drink water?
Yeah.
Why would you drink water?
I don't know, it just seems like you have to.
Seems like you have to. You don't have to. From now on, do not drink water. Drink soda. You like soda?
Nah, I don't drink soda. Strictly water.
Good. What?
Water.
Water? Why would you do that? That stuff tastes like nothing. He's got water. Wasting his arm strength holding some water out here. Now you can do better than that.
All right.
How about water? You drink water?
I don't water.
Oh, what a waste of time. You work blue water?
If I have blue water, yeah.
Yeah, they got blue water, he drinks it. That is fantastic because it's got the good flavor. Anyway, I won't advertise my blue water right now. Back to you.
They are drinking everything but water.
Right.
So it's not just soda, it's also coffee and teas and...
Well, number one, milk should not even be considered a liquid, because as soon as it hits your stomach acid, it coagulates and forms a solid. So that's really not a liquid. So you can't even consider that to be water, number one.
Oh, that is scary. I'm sorry. I've never heard that before.
That's actually
You're
what
saying the milk goes into the stomach and it becomes...
It curdles.
It curdles.
Yeah, it
becomes
forms a solid.
Becomes
but
a
that's
solid.
what it's supposed to do. Milk is designed to be a food for baby mammals. And it's designed to be a liquid form of a solid food that when it hits a baby's stomach acid, it forms a solid, and that's the way it feeds the baby. Now, again, this is another
yeah, we've done a program on milk, but I never heard that before.
Adult animals shouldn't even be drinking milk, but you know that's another story. But just suffice it to say that you shouldn't consider milk as a way to get liquid, because it really isn't.
But you have kids coming in from playing sports, and they're thirsty. They're looking for, and even the commercials.
And they're dehydrated.
The commercials show them. They come home and they go in the fridge. They pull out.
That's exactly.
They drink the milk.
And why is that? That's because the dairy board wants your money. They don't care about your health. The dairy board will show you African Americans drinking milk, even though they know that 70% of us are lactose intolerant. Now, the fact that you will drink that milk and then develop stomach cramps and diarrhea and gas and bloating, they don't mention that.
Right.
Because once they get you to drink it, they have your money and they don't care about the health consequences.
So how much water should we be drinking?
Okay, that's a very good question. And there are a number of different formulas. You know, people say 8 ounces, or 8 glasses of water a day. You know, some people use a body weight formula. And many of these formulas are valid and very good.
At least people are drinking water,
sure.
But you got something better.
I try to give my patients a very practical way of gauging how much water to drink. And this is the analogy I use. I tell them, if you went to take a bath, you ran a tub full of clean water, you got in it, you took your bath, and when you stepped out, the water looked like mud, what would that tell you? You need to bathe more often.
Oh, I know where you're going.
So
with this.
if you go and you pee and your urine is dark yellow, that tells you you are dirty inside. So you need to drink enough water throughout the course of the day so that your urine is pale yellow to clear. That tells you that you are keeping yourself adequately hydrated. And I know people who will say, oh yeah, I drink 6 glasses of water in the morning. Well, that makes no sense. That's like taking a shower, going out and running a marathon, and then not bathing for the rest of the day. You're going to stink. So you need to drink your water distributed throughout the day, because, again, your body is constantly metabolizing, making those toxins. You need to be continually flushing yourself and your system out.
Dr. Mills, you have a way of driving home a point. You are gonna stink.
That's just the way it is.
Let's be real. Let's be real. So you make a very good point, though. You have to consider time, place, and occasion. If you are exercising, if you are doing something, and by the way, you lose water. And I think at the beginning
Absolutely.
you said
That's
you
a
have
very
to
good
replenish
point.
water. So if you are sweating, you're losing water. Even if you're talking a lot, you're losing water. I talk a lot. So I need to be drinking water because when we talk,
You are, yes, you are losing more and more water. Very good point.
So you have to consider, are you working out, are you exercising, and other things, sugary drinks, milk, coffee, nothing's
no
going to do it.
substitute.
You have to have water.
Right. And again, people have said to me, I don't like to taste water. Then you know what my answer to that is? Prayer. No. Why do I say that? Because there was a time in my life I didn't like water. I didn't like the taste of it. But I knew I needed to drink it. So I just said, you know, Lord, I know you want me to drink more water. I know I need to drink this. Give me the taste for this water. And he did. And now I crave it.
Ah, you crave it now.
I crave it. And if I don't have enough water, my body tells me, you need to get water. You need to drink it. And I mean, I love the taste of water now.
Okay, so somebody out there is thinking, okay, you're convincing me I'm going to start drinking more water. Now, what kind of water do I need to drink? Do I need to drink Kangen water, or Kangen, as some people call it? It's alkaline water, and we don't have much time, but we want to give them something practical that they can start to do. Kangen water is alkaline water. Sure. Should it be spring water? Should it be distilled water? Should it be reverse osmosis water? What kind of water?
Okay.
In 30 seconds.
Right. I'm going to give you my personal preference. The most important thing is to drink water. If you have a choice, I think distilled water is the best option. And if you can't get distilled, try to get purified.
That's reverse osmosis or RO water.
Sure. Because basically all you want are 2 H's and 1 O. Okay?
I like that.
Yeah, you just want water. And you don't need, because people say, well, you need the alkaline. No, you don't. The great thing about a plant-based diet is that plant foods are very alkaline. They will give you all the alkali that you need. You don't need to get it from your water. Plus, all you will get from from alkaline water are very small amounts of alkali. Most of it comes from the diet. You don't need to get it from your water. Just drink as pure water as you can get. Your diet will take care of the rest.
Praise the Lord. You hear this? So we want to start drinking more water, but we don't have to go and spend thousands of dollars to get it. You know, water is readily accessible and available at a relatively low cost anywhere you go in the world. That says to me, God intended for us to have it, and to have it in abundance. You need it even to think. So one could say, if you're not drinking enough water, you may not be in your right mind.
Absolutely.
Drink more water. The brain needs water. Your body needs water. And we thank you, Doc, for being with us.
My pleasure.
God bless you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Well, today we have learned how vitally important water is to the human body, how it cleanses, how it refreshes. It is the world's most amazing solvent. It's heaven's elixir. Many people take it for granted, and no substance, colored or sugared, can ever take the place of pure water. When you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated, and every single organ needs water. You not only need to be washed on the outside, but water actually cleanses us on the inside. Isn't that amazing?
Can you move to the side a little bit? Just move right over there. My fellow Americans, the founders of this country fought for freedom. Don't let someone like this take your freedoms away. You enjoy the right to drink soda and pop and colas and teas and sugary drinks, and I don't want to take that freedom away from you. So I want to tell you today, don't worry about water. Enjoy the new stuff, blue water.
Wow. What do I have to say to that? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know. John chapter 4 and verse 14 says, "The water I give you, you shall never thirst again." I don't remember it saying anything about blue water.